only gets bigger at the next level, though.
I'm not worried about that.
I know.
So what was it like being in your rivalry game for the first time as a starter, walking out with a win, knowing that you're going to a Pac-12 championship after the year that's been?
It's been great. We've been through a lot, and it was good seeing everything come to fruition, especially after the week before. Just being able to regroup and get back after it, especially against a rivalry team, a good team, and accomplish the things that we wanted to accomplish, but it's not over yet.
What does it say about this team's resolve to have the offensive performance at Utah and then come back against Oregon State and play one of your best games collectively as an offensive unit?
It says a lot. It says we're very resilient, and just got to keep progressing towards that. You know the word that I'm looking for.
With Troy Franklin, can you kind of put into words how difficult it is for a guy, especially a true freshman, to split time with the X and the Z and do what he needs to do to play both those positions well?
It's very difficult, but he is a very smart kid, and he's very talented, and he's willing to learn. So I have no doubt in my mind that he's not going to be ready for either situation.
Is there an aspect that comes to mind of his game that you've seen really kind of improve as this year's gone on?
Understanding situations, knowing down and distance and stuff like that, and understanding the speed and urgency of certain plays.
As a competitor, how exciting is it to have a second chance at Utah? Because I think everyone has said Utah was not your guys' best effort, and just to have a second chance to kind of make a tone for that.
I would say it's just whenever you get a second shot at somebody, it's always important to leave it out there. First one didn't go as well as we planned, as you said, and just having the opportunity to get back after it is amazing. So just taking those shots that we can get and rolling with them.
You excited to play in a dome? You know, now because the last few weeks it seems like elements have played a role in game script and the way, you've had to maybe go more run or have to go away from, certain things. Now you get 72 degrees, no wind, and a dome setting. Is that something you prefer?
I mean, playing inside with no elements is always cool, but trying not to worry about it as much because it's really a nice stadium. But other than that, like you said, it's different. So playing inside and no elements being a part of the game plan is really good.
How have you seen Ty Thompson grow from spring ball to fall camp to where he's at right now?
I would say maturity and understanding what's going on, understanding the urgency of his role, and preparing. He's been doing a really good job. So.
When you look back at the film, what did you think you did best in that Oregon State game?
I would just say just staying within the box, following my rules, and just playing football the way I know how to play football. Oregon State is a really good team, but when we do the right things and we execute, it's really hard to stop us. So I would just say just being true to my rules.
You've dealt with a lot of adversity over the course of your career, whether that be, through injuries or the portal. I mean, what was this regular season like for you when you're dealing with adversity, but it maybe looks like a different kind of adversity than what you've faced up to this point?
I would say it's hard to speak on because it's a different adversity. Mainly because it's new. The outside world is the biggest thing that's affecting kids nowadays, and just understanding that can't affect us, and it can't affect me. It can't affect my play, especially if I have the love for my team that I say I do. Really need to be locked into what's going on in here, and I don't think people outside understand how that has an effect on kids. But it is what it is. It happens. People are entitled to their own opinions, whether it is what it is. Something is always supposed to be better than what it is. And I get it, but it's not the case. So just being able to roll with it and brush it off, it was the biggest thing for this year.
Who in your life has kept you grounded through that process? Because you're beyond your years in how you speak, man. But like, you're still a kid as well. You know, like I'd imagine it's still hard to not be affected by these things when you see them. Are there people, whether that's teammates, family, anybody in particular that's stepped up in a big way to kind of help you stay grounded and shut that noise off this year?
I would say it's a collection of people. I was raised by a village. My parents always say that. And just, he almost hit y'all, but I was raised by a bunch of things, but a bunch of different cultures and stuff like that, and all of that molded me into the person that I am today. I can't credit just one person or just a couple people, because my experiences in my life or the people that I've met have put me in position to be able to handle situations like this. And I'm just very appreciative to them, and they know who they are, so I don't really have to say names.
What are stats or metrics that, other than completion percentage, that you pay attention to? For instance, like in QBR and the run game, you're like in the top 15 nationally.
I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna be honest
That
with
just
you.
tells me what I need to know. I didn't know if you look at it. Like Kyle Whittingham cites it, so I don't know. We usually, fair enough. Okay, tells me that. You mentioned about obviously a lot goes unseen, coaches and players. When Coach Cristobal is going through what he's going through, as the starting quarterback, as one of the leaders of the team, what does that mean to you? What is it like on Saturday night and early Sunday when he's not here because he's attending to something of that seriousness?
Family is important, and especially to the matters that are going on in his family right now. I feel like it's really big for him to go back and see his family and be able to be here with us, understanding how important Friday is for us. And as a team and as a person like myself, I feel like that's huge for us. He really cares about us, and he considers us family as well. So it says everything about us.
Take us into the pregame with Coach Moorhead, because I know he was back on the field this past week, first time in about 2 months. What is that benchmarking discussion, a little bit of what you can share of just what's it like having him back after not having him there for like 7 weeks?
I would say it's just huge. He brings a different kind of energy. He keeps me level. We both think alike, so it's nice to have somebody that's been in my shoes already, and understanding situations that I'm getting ready to see, and getting me to visualize them right before the game. So I feel like that's the biggest part.
To kind of expand on just the perspective piece of all of this, you know, Coach Cristobal has had his situation. Coach Moorhead has had his. A lot of the adversity you've dealt with has been, you know, the online punditry and outside noise. When the real things happen, does that add perspective for you personally, and knowing that the noise is kind of just noise in the grand scheme of things relative to the things this team has seen this year with its coaches and their lives?
I would say that, like you said, the noise is just noise. When we go out there and do what we're supposed to do, or whether something happens on the field, the noise doesn't understand what's going on, but the people that matter do. So I would say it's something that we can't worry about, something that we shouldn't worry about, or kids shouldn't worry about at all, if you know what's supposed to be going on the field and you know what's going on. The matters of our situations are a lot different in every case, but it's important to understand that as well.
You have 2 games left in your college career. Do you ever think about that, or try and enjoy certain moments of what's going on?
And it's been a long road, but I try to enjoy everything, from doing these in front of everybody to just simple warm-ups and before games, and understanding and taking in all the atmosphere and the environment, because I know it's going to change very soon. So I would say just enjoying everything along the way.
Do you make it a point to be the first one out there? Because I think you have been almost every week in the early warm-ups before you guys were in pads.
I don't make it a point, but I I'm just used to it. My dad used to have me warming up early all the time when I was younger, specifically because I played every position when I was younger. But just getting into a certain routine on the field is important for me. So,
For this opponent specifically, how do you have a better outcome, particularly against their linebackers in the ground game? Not just, obviously, yes, you and what you have to do in that capacity, but Travis and getting the ground game going, particularly early.
I would say doing our job and being physical, playing Oregon football. That's one thing that we didn't do a few weeks back, and I feel like in order to win this game, that's what's going to have to happen.
So running on P and 10 like you guys did in the first half this last week, or 13 out of 18 first downs this past week, I guess that's Oregon football.
Staying ahead of the sticks and not basically hindering ourselves in situations. So.
I know the term "everything happens for a reason" is kind of cliche in some respects, but when you do look at the totality of your college career, now that you're coming down to the end, I know you probably haven't had a ton of time to think about it, but do you kind of see some of the crossroads that you've been thrown in the last 5-6 years, and do you think what if on something different, or do you feel pretty firm about what your journey's kind of been up to this point?
I would say after our bowl game last year, it kind of put me in a situation to where I was sitting there thinking about life and stuff, and sometimes I used to think about what if I did this, what if this happened, but just appreciating what happened, and understanding that life is going to have its ups and downs, and just be able to adapt to them and just keep rolling. You're always going to have hiccups in life. If you have a perfect life, that hats off to you, but that's not life, and just being able to keep going is the biggest thing, because I know that there are so many kids and stuff like that that look up to me, and understanding that if I stop, they probably won't keep going, and there possibly be another Nikolai Tesla or something like that back at home or something like that. So I feel like just continuing on is the biggest thing for me.
Was there a light bulb moment for you that made you want to stay here, or was that a more slow process of deciding after last January that this is where you wanted to be and that you wanted to stick it out here?
It was more of a slower process, I would say that.